Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have very special guest, Grammy award-winning producer, sold over 50 million records.
It's really 100.
Over 100 million records sold. Rockstar. Producer Rockstar is in the building.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
What's up? And self-made to the max.
To the max.
To the max.
Maximum capacity.
Slept on floors. I've heard the rumors. I'm so excited to have you in the building.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
And you're gonna have to feed me, of course. So what are you gonna feed me?
We doing my broke dish. Really, this should be eating while broke as hell, if you want to add the as hell, because I was the as hell part. It's unbelievable. But right now, this dish right here is called Ghetto Casserole, and it was the chicken top ramen mixed in with a turkey burger that I seasoned up, chopped up, put into the situation, mixed up, and just changed the world with. That got me through. I'm talking about that had me full for, you know what I'm talking about, the whole day. I thought that pretty much was it, to the point where people just started requesting it. Let me get some ghetto. Oh, okay.
Oh, you really named it that. That was like the coin name that you gave it back then.
Yeah, Ghetto Casserole. They like, okay.
I've never had Ghetto Casserole. Right. I'm a hater of ramen because we've taped over 120 episodes.
And everybody eat ramen.
When I say, people be like, I thought she hated ramen. I'm like, I can only block ramen so much in a broke show, you know?
It's getting crazy.
But when I see a ramen with a flair, I really believe that the individual was probably, like you said, broke as hell.
No,
you had it so many times that you had to up it. Yep. So go ahead, start
popping it off.
Okay. And while you in this kitchen cooking, I want you to take me back to what was going on when you was broke as hell.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's just so many years of being broke as hell. It's like, which part of being broke as hell did you want to have the conversation about? Because, I mean, I come from absolutely nothing. So I was broke as hell the whole time.
Where are you from originally?
So I'm from like Los Angeles, of course, so California. But I've lived all over South Central. All over Inglewood, you need this?
No, the trash. I'll take
the trash. You need this? I'm like, yeah, but first of all, if you don't do that, it don't even taste the same. But we're going to put that over there because that's where that's going to be at. I lived all over South Central, all over Inglewood, all over LA, everywhere in LA. You know what I mean? And then also all over the Valley too. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Once you come from two-parent household?
Yeah, until that. My parents were married until I was about 12, and then they split. So right when I turned into a teenager and started going outside, I was dolo.
Okay. And then did you also always know you were going to get into music?
Nah, not really. I thought I was going to be an actor. Which I ended up being on Love and Hip Hop and different stuff. It's kind of a version of acting, but I started off, coming out, and like my mom put me into acting, and I was the stand-up comedy champion at Laugh Factory for like 3 years with Jamie Masada. So Jamie Masada, which owns the Laugh Factory, he put me in, and I was young, but I was so good that him, Paul Rodriguez, and all of them put me into the adult camp, and I was like 10.
Okay.
So 10, 11, 12, and like, beginning of 13, I was doing the stand-up comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, as a kid, and then that got me into like some national commercials and a couple of TV shows. Like I start figuring out like, dang, what's a Coogan account? And obviously being broke as hell, my parents were also broke as hell. So that Coogan account got Cooganed. Yeah, that got cooked.
I thought that
So
was the
all
whole
that
point.
money-
Was it supposed to protect you? It's supposed to.
Yeah, that didn't work because my dad had the same name as me. So
Oh.
he just absolutely mangle-whopped my account. By the time whatever I had built was whatever I had built, it was a saran bag. So I did all that work, but it was still a good experience. You know what I mean?
Did
So
you say a saran bag?
yeah, it was a wrap.
It was
Yeah,
a
it
wrap.
was a
Okay.
wrap.
So,
Yeah,
but did
he
you?
was a
Was
little
it
different.
a shocker that you lost the money, or did you kind of know it was going to disappear?
Well, I knew that I came from the type of parents, like I know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know when you grow up and you like, I'm probably not gonna never see this money by the time I get to this money. Now I was hustling, I was already out in the streets hustling young. So like even when I was done out and I just was out there hustling dolo to the point where by the time I was like 14, 15, I was like making so much money just doing different whatever I was doing. And then I was giving my mom money and they were separate. So I get my mom, here, take some bands. And she like, how you got bands and you 14, 15? Like, and I'm handing her money. So I was like, it was a little weird because I always was a hustler. I get straight to it, however it go. Like ever since I was young, I was selling candy or selling this. Or, you know, I go to 99-cent stores, go home, go to the school, sell sugar daddy, sell this, sell that. So I was always doing something. I was always hustling. I'm the hustler. Like, you come get me when it's time to hustle. We're going to figure it out. Thus, years later, obviously, multiple companies. But it came from, you know, absolutely nothing. So, but for, like, I was doing good on the hustle. And then I started getting kicked out of the schools that I was hustling in. Okay. So then my money started dropping back down.
That's hilarious.
And then, no, for real.
So like you're hustling candy and sodas or whatever, and
I mean, I was cooking the 99-cent store. However, that was happening. Different situations.
You said cooking the 99-cent.
I was just going viral. I don't want to be in here just saying I was doing anything.
Okay.
But we was doing all kinds of stuff. Okay. Then I get the bread. I get the candy, whatever the situation was, and then we go run it up. However that happened. And then I'd be selling it, it'd be all profit. So I'd be making like 100-something a day. Then I started making, I'm like, damn, when I'm thinking about all the things I'm talking about hustling, this shit kind of self-incriminating when I started thinking about all the stuff I was doing. Like, am I supposed to break that down? Just know I'm like, damn, I'm like, by the time I'm done, y'all be like, dang, we should probably cut that out because I was doing all kinds of, I was hustling, I was running plays, I was hitting licks, I was doing all kinds of stuff. And we don't want to go through all that because I don't even tell myself. But it was unusual. When I got 16, I was out the house. Like my mom, I was moving around so much. They was like, you want to be grown, hit the streets. So I was sleeping in the car. I bought myself a car. Started sleeping in the car like 16. I was hustling. My mom and them didn't even know I had any talent besides the acting,
comedy and stuff.
Yeah, because my sister, she was a singer and she won like the first American Idol, and so they was on whatever she was on. I was just in the cut. Like, I mean, obviously the way I look, I might have been a supermodel or something. But if they wasn't thinking about that, it was like whatever the hell was going on. So did
like your parents' attention switch to her?
It's been not switched. It was always her. Yeah, she was always like the one. And then she's super dope. That's my that's my heart. She was always like just super anointed singing wise. And so she always had opportunities and different things going on. And yeah, so should I start cooking this?
Cook it.
Oh yeah, because you gotta dump that in, but then we gotta get the seasoning. So anyway, you gotta throw a little seasoning salt on there because it ain't never been a black dish without seasoning salt.
No.
Impossible.
I'm surprised it didn't say Lawry's. I'm like,
yeah, it ain't saying Lawry's?
It did.
I knew. I'm about to say, what is this?
When I saw the notes, I was like, give me
what
Lawry's.
are we talking about? But what was I saying?
You were talking about your sister was anointed.
Oh yeah, she was doing her thing, right? She was winning. She had like she was doing amazing. She was winning. She won like I think $300,000 on one show, and she's like, her voice is next level, always been. And so they just was kind of on whatever she was on.
And it was just the two of y'all as far as siblings?
Nah, family. I got four siblings. Yeah, but
that's like me. I love my siblings.
Yeah, that's the gang. But yeah, ain't nobody thought I was doing. They thought I was the fuck up. They like, this nigga is failing every class. You know what I'm saying? They like, he outside in the streets, they just knocked this nigga out. He just went to jail. He just did it. We heard he's in the street. It's all kind of shit. I'm doing all kind of stuff when I was younger. So they like, dang. They like, he ain't, I don't. So nobody had faith in me. But you know, I was kind of like always very good or a master at whatever it was I did. So like the crump movement was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like the pioneers. I was like one of the main people out here who was in the mix, like, and kind of created that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we were dancing, and dancing got me in a lot of different rooms too, just because I was always so good, like flipping, tumbling, everything. I just was super vicious at dancing. So, you know, coming from Tommy the Clown into the crump movement, and then it being, you know, that's when B2, that's when You Got Served and that type of stuff.
I remember that.
It was just the biggest thing on earth to know how to crump, to know how to. So I was like in the front of that. So when I was out in the streets, I'd be doing that. I'd be doing smack DVD rap battles. That was another thing. Like my bar game was always crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was smack DVD rap battles. I was running around with like Suge and them type of people early. When I was 15, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had me battling. I was in the mix early, super early. And then, you know, I just started honing in on everything. And I just took it to the next level. I don't know. It started there. And then one thing I've always done is been real tapped in with God. Like, he saved me. I think that's because I would have got mangled to a bunch of them times. But he saved me so many times just with, I felt a lot of grace and favor in situations because the people around me was getting mollywopped. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you, they was getting mollywopped.
So you're 16, 17.
Yeah.
So you're 16, 17. What is going on in so you're doing the dancing. You went from comedy / hustling to dancing.
Yeah, I was always dancing even when I was a kid, though.
And you're still struggling. You're still like homeless, kind of sleeping in cars.
Yep, messed up, yep. Running around doing a whole bunch of nothing. Going from couch to car. And then my car broke down on me one night, actually, because I was trying to stay warm. I was sleeping in the car. And I was trying to, you know, when you be asleep in the car and then you like, damn, it's a cold ass night. You try and hit the gas to like, I was so sleepy from whatever it was I was doing that I had fell asleep up under this little thing and I had hit the gas and I was trying to warm up the car and I fell asleep with the car, with my foot on the gas. And I woke up in exhaust, like the whole car was in exhaust fumes and the engine was just rocking left to right. Ooh. And I'm like, dang, and somebody hit my window like boom, boom, like, yo, get out the car, bro, get out the car. And so I jumped out. He like, bro, you would have stayed in that car, you was gonna die. The car was gonna explode. Are you crazy? Like, what do you got going on? And so that was a moment where I ended up having to, you know, like I think I called my dad and he lived in San Diego at the time. And I was like, yo, like, I know y'all ain't the ones. You know what I'm saying? I know I don't mess with y'all on this, that, and the third like that, but I'm gonna have to, it's either that or I'm gonna I'm out the car now, so I'm gonna be on the street. So it's either that or I'm about to have to go level up. Like it was gonna turn into something else. It was gonna go from the car to a next level.
Yeah,
it was gonna
high risk.
I was gonna go to some next
hustle.
level shit. So I'm just telling you, like early, how this gonna be. So he was like, all right, man, like my wife is this and this, but just come, whatever. And then I went to San Diego, and from when I got to San Diego, I stayed there for a little bit, I think like 6 months. And then I was like, yo, let's get back to it. So I went back to it. But you know who I skipped? When I was in high school, I used to stay on my boy Ruben Cannon's couch, which is Nick Cannon's younger brother. And so that was my best friend, Ruben, and his brother, Nick Cannon. And so he was getting all the, like, Nick would just put them up in because they came from
house.
nothing too.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
So they had a little apartment in the middle of Hollywood, run down. But all of us, it was like 7 of us in one bedroom. We was all in there. But Ruben really looked out for me when I was younger too. Like he was that was one of my solid homies. But Ruben Cannon is one of them ones. I don't know about everybody else, but Ruben, that's one of them ones. But
he's
yeah,
one
so
of my favorites, by the way. Personally, he's one of my favorites.
yeah, he's the one. That's my brother. Like for him, different. So like, you know, I always like super appreciated when anybody did anything for me because nobody did nothing for me. So we can, you know,
Damn,
you
look at all
let
that
me
hot
know.
sauce, everybody.
Yeah, you got to get to it. I don't know if y'all can see this, but you got to throw that on there. It ain't even.
He drowning that turkey burger.
You got to get it jump. Well, because that's where the flavors start acting different. Because you know when you get to cooking stuff, I'm just telling you how my ghetto casserole, I was doing something else. It was a different conversation. But what was we saying though?
You was talking about before you ended up in San Diego, you was staying with Ruben.
Yeah, I was staying with Ruben. Yep. As a youngin', I was messed up early, so he was looking out when I was like 14.
How did y'all know each other? You guys went to school
Hollywood
together?
High.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
Hollywood High. And so, you know, I went to performing arts schools because my mom and them, that's one thing I could be thankful for. My mom and them put me in performing arts schools, which opened me up to plays, musicals, choir classes. So like most niggas in the hood just going to school and they choir class was a fade in the bathroom. I'm just saying like that's where niggas they was you going to Dorsey, you going to Crenshaw, you going to you know what I'm saying different joints. I was like the Hamiltons, the Hollywoods. It was still wicked. We be getting it'd be riots and all that. We'd be getting in this, but at the same time, I was like, it was weird because you be in choir class with other gang members and other, you know what I'm saying? And we in choir class, but we really creating full-blown everything. Like it's crazy. Because creation is creation. Like what you chose to do. If you're a creator and you next level, then you're gonna create on that level. So, and we're always in competition. So
wait, when you were in these classes with other gang members or rival gangs, everybody was getting along during choir and all that?
Yeah, I mean, because it's school, it's school. You know what I mean? You get into situations and, you know, back then it was kind of like, there was a green light on the blacks from the 18s at the time. So it was all kind of stuff going on. So we kind of was sticking together and everybody was just in the mix. It was because it was all kind of, that's a long story. But anyway, you know, it was a lot going on. It was a lot of war. But in terms of school, like dance, like choir, like different things that we was doing, yeah, that was we was in there going viral.
Okay.
Yeah, we was in there going viral. We almost done with this, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
We dang near done.
That's good, because I'm hungry.
No, it's actually crazy.
Now,
probably smells
you come back
outlandish.
from San Diego.
Yep.
Fast tracking now back to, so you go back from San Diego.
Because you're trying to figure out, well, where did you get rich
Yeah,
at?
I'm like, where is that? Well,
yeah,
I'm not trying to figure out. I love hearing the story because you have these extra, I want to say adjectives. Is that the right word?
Yeah, okay, yep.
I like
it. Yeah,
because I like the way you talk.
Yeah, it's action packed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was going through a lot. Like I didn't, you know, when you coming from nothing, and this is why I always am with people who came from nothing, because we understand each other on a level that's just a little different. But I also run in corporate at the highest level, but I also run in the lowest level, because at the end of the day, it's like when you come from having no other option, it's serious.
Yeah.
I know, you know what I'm saying? It's like just because somebody's in a higher neighborhood don't mean that they don't got no option but to run the play either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you got white collar crimes. And
yeah.
That's why you got don't think it's just all about, because he got a rag on, he hard. Like, no, it's a lot of people come from nothing, even to Brazil, favelas, to wherever you go. It's hoods, it's motherfuckers that's willing to go to the roof wherever you go. So I understood that early, and I always related to whoever was shit. Like, what you want? But the smart hustlers. I hate dumb hustlers. I never hustled dumb. I would have been locked up.
Can you break down a dumb hustler for me?
Yeah. A dumb hustler is basically somebody who is always just hustling backwards. Like if you in and out of jail all day, you're hustling backwards.
Yeah, I agree.
Like your hustle is not planned out.
Yeah.
Like where's your execution? Every last person around me been to prison, been to this, been to that, right? Mm-hmm. Every last person around me been to prison. Like all my family, my brother did 13 years, my other brother did 20. Everybody been around. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's about like, dang, like they all got the same story. Like, damn, I should have did that different. So if you're gonna continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, I need to drain this.
Shit.
Here, we're gonna figure out this. What I'm gonna do.
Wait. We have a way to drain it. Can we call cut?
No, but no, we don't even need to. I'm
gonna
this got to be cleaned anyway.
But what if that splash? Is that gonna splash at you?
Nah, hell no. I've been doing this since niggas were drinking similar.
See, that's how you know you self-made. Right there.
Right there. Huh?
Right there.
We're gonna find a solution.
We're gonna improv real quick.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that. But this needs to be cleaned anyway, eventually. Yeah. But
you didn't put the seasonings in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to.
Oh, okay. Let me not micromanage your cooking.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I poured it out, because I don't be liking the seasoning to be. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, that's what I do at my house.
Yeah, I don't be. I just kind of, what's his name? It was when you dropped that in there. I should have had you do the. You know what I'm talking about?
You needed help in the kitchen?
Me?
Yeah.
Hell no. I don't need no help. I'll shoot me. Hey, look, I'll tell you, it's called me.
Okay.
I should have went to culinary art school.
You're hilarious.
Hey, it's all kind of stuff going on. You throw this in there, right there. You finna be like,
look at this. See, I envisioned ghetto casseroles to be something different looking.
Did you? This is the pasta,
but it looks really fancy.
No, I'm telling you, I used to cut up the turkey burger and throw this into that. If you eat that with that, you finna be like, this dude Rock did that. And then don't be using my recipe at home.
That's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
People are gonna be using it, and they're gonna be judging your recipe. Believe it or not, they'll be like, I would have done it this way.
Yeah, because they wanted to do what they wanted to do. This. I'm talking about what had me lit. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this since niggas was drinking Similac.
Look how fancy it looks.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
That looks really fancy.
And then for me, I'm a spice. I just threw some more hot sauce on top and did it up.
Is yours, when you usually do it, does it look this plated, like this well?
Does what look this?
Like, whenever you did it look like this when you would plate it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I cut it up sometimes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, does it look well? It look fancy?
It look kind of fancy.
Let's just throw it at the wall and start over. No, I'm just playing.
I think if you added like a little bit of greenery or vegetable to it, it would have looked really fancy, or like
you really
parsley.
Trying to break down my. You saying that
I think it's really
looks a little.
It looks nice. Ghetto Casserole, okay?
It's kind of fire.
Look, I haven't sold millions of records. You know what I'm saying? You never know. For me, this is.
Listen, this is doing something. You got to break down the what's his name into the what's that. You ain't got a knife. If you break down a little piece.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Yeah, we need a knife for your cooking.
Oh, my mama, though. It's kind of crazy. I didn't want to do too much, but I didn't want to do too little. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, and you do that with that. Okay. And then you just throw the little turkey up in there.
Okay. Oh. Look at him. Get it. When was the last time you had this
brought me back to, ooh.
I love that.
Yeah, that's like something different, because you didn't have time to get all the pasta and this and that and the third. This was already its own made pasta. Let's see what's going on. It's actually kind of crazy, right?
It's good, and you know what? You season that meat really well.
That's what I'm trying to explain. I don't know what I was trying to tell. I don't even be liking to tell. I don't even want to tell nobody nothing. When I start telling people stuff.
The noodles are a little soft.
They a little soft, right?
They're a little soft.
I don't like that.
But I ain't gonna lie.
I was talking too much.
You seasoned that meat.
Like something's going on.
You seasoned it.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's good, huh?
That's what I'm trying to explain.
What you trying to explain?
I'm trying to tell you, it's go season. I'm telling you. This right here, you was eating this after you did whatever you did and came back to this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You thought you went to ROCCSTAR.
I'm not gonna lie, you seasoned very well.
That's what I'm telling you. You thought you went to ROCCSTAR, but you went to ROCCSTAR. I don't know. I think I need to pause that. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that was nuts.
Okay.
But the punchline is
okay.
The punchline. Are you
gonna eat all yours? You are.
Who, mine?
Yeah.
I just came from eating. That was the problem. To eat my whole what's not right now is gonna be unusual. I just wanted you to experience.
What did you eat before this?
I just came from ROCCSTAR. We just came from ROCCSTAR. That's the crazy part. I was like, damn, let's just go get some steak and then now I got steak and all kind of. It's bomb though, huh? Well, I'm telling you,
you missing out.
I know my own shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm mad. I'm not that hungry because it's done gone too far.
Well, you know what's cute is that you went from ROCCSTAR to eating this.
That's what I'm screaming, but it's the same program. Actually, I like mine better.
Really?
Man, what? When I get to season, some of that stuff be bland. I'll be paying $500 for something bland, just for the look.
You know what?
You know what I'm talking about?
You missing out because this turkey burger,
it's kind of doing something.
It's doing something like
that's what I'm telling you.
Like I feel bad.
That's
for
what
you,
I'm saying. And then this one right here is even more seasoned than that one. That's the crazy because I could smell it. I know what happened off the way that the edges is cut. I'm like, oh, like if I had to pick and then I had to pick for myself, I'd have picked that one.
Why? Maybe the other side is like that.
Nope, that's what I'm telling you. Get a corner of that and see what happens.
You're hilarious.
If you get that corner,
we already know.
You're going to be like, what is that corner?
This one looks more juicy, too.
That's what I'm telling you. I didn't even mean to do you like that, but I thought I was going to be able to.
Why I didn't give
but
you
I'm
a
so
knife.
stuffed. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yours is better.
That's what I'm yelling.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. It's something else going on over here anyway.
You know what? You can cook.
That's what I'm explaining.
Okay.
I'm going to put together what I can put together when I can put it together. You know what I'm talking about?
When was the last time you had this?
I ain't made this in probably 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah. This was a struggle meal.
If we left off at 17.
Yeah, 17, y'all.
Okay, we're getting close to you becoming rich.
Yeah. Oh, my mama. We getting there somewhere, yeah? Yeah, I touched my first million at like 21.
All right, come.
Oh, are we here now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, but I touched my first million like 21.
21. So I'm not skipping steps because your story is fun. So 17.
Yep.
You moved from San Diego.
Yep. I'm back on the block. I'm back around here, and I'm figuring it out pretty much. So, like 18, I had bumped into an investor. First of all, I was writing, like I was battle rapping and doing all that, and I was so popular with dance, and I was getting a lot of popularity with dance and MySpace. In San Diego, I had dropped a record called Beatbox on MySpace, and when I tell you it was the most popular song, I had like 1 million something plays. It was the most popular song, and I said, dang, these people really like my music. This is crazy. And so I was getting so much notice that people were DMing me like, yo, bro, that's fire. Like, yo, bro, what's up? So basically, this investor had DM'd me like, yo, I got, Mike Post. You know Mike Post?
Mm-mm.
He created Law and Order, the Law and Order sound, the Law and Order theme song, and all the music for Law and Order. He gets paid every 3 seconds. He's ridiculous. So Mike Post is like, yo, like my other boy was actually at Mike's studio. He's like, yo, you should sit down with him. So I came over there. They gave me. Like it was like, yo, go ahead, like play what you got. I played it. I did like a whole performance thing. And it was like, yo, like you're the next. There was no Drake, obviously. There was just maybe a Chris, but there was no rapping, singing, dance. Like it wasn't. They like, yo, like you next up. Like this is crazy. Like what you need. Matter of fact, so he had an SSL studio with like other rooms. He was like, listen, anytime use my studio, you're good. So from me going, in everybody closet to record, the bathrooms, and I'm recording in the most random places in the hood, just like wherever. You got a mic, set it up, So going from there to a SSL recording studio it just was a different frequency. So I'm like, because of my environment, I have to now adapt to this level of music. So that SSL made me change the way I approach records because I'm like, let me think a little harder now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing that, this, and the third, and I'm writing crazy records, and I'm rapping, I'm doing all this stuff. I was with this dude named Cura from London, which was my main producer. I actually had signed a production deal with him. And Cura, early, was like, he was a family friend from my mom from way back, but he's from London. So his sound was European. He had like done Kylie Minogue and all these other people. So he was like, yo, Rock, this is how we gonna approach it. It was always like some big sounding European worldwide stuff. And then I'm like, okay. And then he was like, yo, there's this group called Lexington Bridge. They're #1 in Germany. I'm gonna put you on there with them. So he put me in with this group and I ended up doing a verse and ended up having a #1 record in Germany with these kids.
You're doing a verse as in rapping, right?
Rapping. And I was like 18. So I'm like, dang. I'm sitting there and I'm going crazy. I'm like, this is nuts. This is the first time but I didn't know what that meant. I was just like, and then so from there, Like
now, when you have the number one record, are you making money, or you just know that you have a number one record?
I just know I got a number one record. I don't even know what it means to have a number one record.
And you're how old? Like
8? I'm like 19, right there, like 18, 19. So then Tim and Bob, right? You know Tim and Bob?
No.
Tim and Bob are like legendary producers, like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like super, like my now my next level brothers, these families, like different. But back then there was Tim and Bob. They created Bobby Valentino. They did Boyz II Men, Evolution, and brought out Tamia and Case and everybody from Beyonce. So they came around and they were using my sister actually to do all Jennifer Lopez's backgrounds at the time. And so one day, you know, my sister always was like, my sister loved me. So she always like, yo, like, I'm over here, da-da-da. And I came to drop her off something at the studio. And she's like, oh, this is my brother. And they like, damn, bro, you look kind of dope. You look out like a look, like, what you do? And I'm like, yo, I rap, da-da-da. And so I press play on something. They like, what the, yo, man, what's up with him? So Tim and Bob set up a session. I actually got in the booth. And while I was in the booth, he's like, yo, can you test the mic? Because Bobby Valentino finna come in. Can you test the mic? And so I started like singing or whatever just to try and get whatever frequency they were trying to get. I wasn't even thinking about it. They was like, bro, your voice is dope. What the heck? Do you know how to write? So they forced me into writing like records. It was weird. Like at the time, like, just start trying to write some stuff. And like 2 or 3 sessions later, I'd already written like a hit. And they're like, dude, this is like, you a writer, you're a singer, and I'm like, dang, I just was transitioning into thing. I was morphing into different right away. I'm like, damn, am I a singer? Am I a writer? Because I was always rapping, battle rapping, hardcore, always. And then so my pen was so crazy. It was like, you put melodies over your pen, you're gonna be vicious. And so my sister was always a singer, so melodies was easy for me. So I'm like, okay. And so Tony Mercedes, who signed TLC, had came one day and brought his artist and was like, yo, I got this artist, she's big in Australia, write her a song. And I wrote her a song on the spot, it was a smash. And he gave me a check the next day. He was like, here. And
how much was the check?
$7,500. And I'm like, hold on. But he gave me the check. He like, just sign this. And I'm like, all right, what I'm signing? And he gave me $7,500. I'm like, oh, so who am I giving this to? He like, this for you, for writing a song. Every record, I was trying to get you 10, but they only agreed. I'm like, so I got 75. Oh yeah, it's over.
I know that hustle and you kicked it.
You're done. Everybody's done. Everybody's done. Nobody is going to breathe again with the writing. Y'all are done. They're handing out checks for writing hits. Everybody's done. All y'all are good. Don't even pick up the pen no more unless you're extravagant. So from that day on, when I seen that check and I didn't have to do no gangsters, I didn't have to do nothing. I have to hit no lick. I didn't have to do no nothing. I didn't have to jump through no windows. I didn't do no flock. I didn't sell nothing. I said, he just handed me this and all cash and I don't have to do nothing. And I just had to do that. No, my mama, oh my God. Hey, look, and obviously, ever since then, it got wicked. It got serious. And so I just started just becoming a guillotine with the pen. Like, I'm just sharp. I'm just like everybody getting diced. So from then, I just start cataloging. Oh, y'all, hold on, y'all be buying records? That's all y'all want. So now I'm sitting there and then I'm finding friends. You know how to sing? Jump in the booth. Sing what I'm singing. You know how to rap? So then the engineers ain't moving fast enough for me. So I'm like, damn, I can't find an engineer. So now I'm in the back trying to figure out how to engineer. Okay, let me see how to record myself so I ain't got to worry about these things. So I figure it out after some months. I put in hours and hours, and every day I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm going through, how do I tweak this? Put this EQ. What's this? I'm looking up. So I'm asking the engineers. They don't even want to, Rock, I'm in the middle of, okay, how do I put an EQ on this? How do I make this sound better? How do I do this? So I'm getting the breakdown. It's crazy. I'm getting the breakdown. I'm like, damn, okay, cool. So from there, now now I know how to engineer a little bit. So then I'm sitting there and I'm writing. I'm like, damn, where the producers at? These niggas ain't not giving me enough material. I'm writing faster than the producers. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm like, now I'm cooking because my hustle, they gave me a check, it's done. I'm not gonna stop until I'm up. If I could stack these checks up to where I could be up all the way up and just be up, man, on my mama, you're never gonna see it. No, it's done. So I'm out writing every day. I'm waking morning, noon, and night. I'm writing. And so now I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know. I can't find any producers, but GarageBand, Logic. I'm like,
I remember those.
Let me figure it out. So now I'm on GarageBand making whack beats. I'm talking about super whack. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, ooh, hey, ooh. I can see with a mix on it. It gotta be crazy. So I'm like, ooh, run it back. So niggas is walking in, and I'm pressing play, and the other niggas in there like, yeah, we can see kind of what was he doing, right? Hey, and then Tim and Bob and all them and Tricky Stewart and all them. Hey, look, they coming in and they pressing play on crazy. I'm like, damn, my shit is whack. So now I'm like, damn, like, hold on. So now I gotta sit here every day and figure out how to produce. And I'm making whack ass beats until finally I make a beat that's hot. Then I'm like, ooh, I'm Pharrell. Hey, look, I'm telling you, now I'm Pharrell. I'm somebody else now. It's
That's
up.
hilarious.
Man, I'm doing all kind of, I don't even know how to play, but I'm figuring it out. What this note go to this note? Okay, what about this note? That don't sound right. So now I'm playing everything by ear. So then I'm getting into it now. So now I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm selling records, but the records, it's now about the networking. You got to run around and figure out how to get in people's faces. Like, I got records over here. I got enough of a catalog. I probably made 50, 60 songs now. And I'm able to press play. But like, so who's hearing them?
You didn't try to go back to the first dude that wrote you the check for the 75?
That was one check. He not finna just cut me. He did cut me a couple more checks, but he don't got an unlimited amount of checks.
Yeah.
He got other producers that's bigger than me. Like, he just gave me like Tony Mercedes just looked out. He just looked out like, you know what, you're young. Go ahead, dog. I'll rock with you. And I did, and I showed him proof, cut me the check. And Tony's still my guy to this day. But he created TLC, like he signed. He was one of the early executives, so he always seen, we make no scrubs and stuff. Yeah. You can see through like, this dude he's something. He got something. Mm-hmm. So real A&Rs always recognize like greatness in me when they seen whatever it was, the hunger, whatever it was. So he just looked out, but I went to trying to find other Tony Mercedes. So who else got a check? Yeah, so I was hustling. And then, like I said, your network is your net worth. So at the time, I only knew a couple people, and I'm trying to figure out how to get further than where I'm at. So I'm like, dang, like, how do I maybe I need a manager. I need somebody. Yeah. Because this ain't gonna work. I need somebody. So then I linked up with Chris Lighty.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Never heard of Chris Lighty?
No.
Chris Lighty's the most legendary manager ever. He created 50 Cent, did the vitamin water deal. He's Violator. He created a company called Violator.
Chris Lighty, you know?
No, he's dead. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, he died.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, but that was my big bro. So his situation was different because he created Violator, which he signed Busta to, and 50, and that's where Mona Scott came from. That's where all of them came from. She worked for Violator. All of them. He had a hub of the big Diddy. All of them was under Violator. Violator was the thing. Yo Gotti, all them was, when I got to Violator, they had already been them, but Yo Gotti was running around with Mike Lighty, and so Chris Lighty, Mike Lighty, Dave Lighty. Dave Lighty brought me.
Were they all siblings or something?
Yeah, they're all Lighties.
Okay.
But Dave Lighty brought me to Chris Lighty, and Chris Lighty, when he seen me, he was like, because at that point in time, I had walked in there and was like, "What's up, bro? Yeah, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest that ever lived."
I believe that.
And he was like, "What? Who? I ain't even never heard of you, bro. What you?" And so I said, "Who's your favorite rapper?" He telling me, I said, "But I'm way better than them." Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm way better than your favorite. He like, "Bro, go, hold on." Chris Lighty calls everybody in the room, the whole office. And he goes, "Okay, we're gonna see what you into." He's laughing at me though. I swear, like, everybody knows that was around. Tiffany, all the people that was around. He's laughing at me, right? He's like, "Yo, like, okay, we're gonna see." And so I get up and I just start barring down the whole room. And they're like, "Oh my God, what? Oh, whoa." He like, so after I'm done, I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Hold on, man. Yo, you are not." He like, "Hold on, man. You got songs? Press play." So I play like 5, 6 of my craziest records. He like, "You wrote these?" that's you on it? He like, okay, you know what? All right, y'all good. We good? All right, everybody good. All right, bruh. So at the time, I had went to New York to meet Chris Lighty, but I had set up a meeting with Mark Pitts, which is also my big bro, which was the president of RCA Records, but he had buy Storm, and he signed Chris Brown, signed Usher, signed.
How are you getting these contacts? You're like just networking?
Because I was moving around. So I was in a studio, and a dude named Caston, how I got to Mark Pitts was a dude named Caston, kind of like was there with me. He was like early with me when I was just hustling in there, singing, making records all the time. And Caston was like, dude, you are ridiculous on the pen. Like, yo, you need to be. So he brought a dude named Kirk Lightburn to the studio that he was cool with. And Kirk Lightburn worked for Mark Pitts. And Kirk Lightburn heard me and was like, yo, I need to get you to New York to meet Mark, period. So they were scheduling it, and I scheduled Chris Lighty and Mark Pitts same 2 days. Mm-hmm. And so when I went and met with Mark Pitts in RCA, we had such a vibe. I was with him. We was locked in. And him, the whole off, he was like, yo, let's lock it in. Let's get it. We good. You buy Storm. And I went to Chris Lighty, and Chris Lighty was like, I can't even let you leave, bro.
I was going to say, I would have never let you leave.
He was like, I can't even let you leave. He's like, honestly, I know where you went from, but you the biggest. You're next. Trust me. I know what it is. And I was like, I think I was 20 at the time. I'm like, I wasn't old enough to drink. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, so what you want to do? I'm like, he like, well, how much you need? Or what do you, not, he said how much you need. He said, what do you need? And I'm like, well, right now, honestly, I just got this little apartment. That joint kind of hitting. But I've been doing all kinds of shit. But I said, I'm finna go back, and the homie got a lick right now. I'm supposed to be up. Like, if we hit this and get away with this, I'm gonna be up 50,000.
You said that to him?
Yeah, but I'm telling him really what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, but the homie got a lick. But I'm like, I'm supposed to be writing this, and these niggas want me to come to Germany. He like, listen, how much, add up all your bills for the year. And I'm like, all right, I'm sitting there. He like, do it now. And I'm sitting there and I'm adding up. And I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, okay, I rent $2,000 a month. So that's already $24,000, 12 months. And then this car I just got off this stupid, I got it from Statewide, which they give you Statewide?
No.
You ain't got no credit, but you want to floss? You put down 30% and they'll give you a car, but they come in a repo at the day you miss one payment. It's unusual. So anyway, because they repoed it. So that's how I know. So I had this Statewide joint, and I'm like, dang, $1,300 a month. And I'm like, damn, I added that up. So $2,000. I'm like, damn, after I start adding up, like, I just need to but I need to be fly. And then I'm like, damn, my bill's like $5,000 a month, bro. No, but I'm sitting there and I'm talking. I'm like, in my head, and I'm like, hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. All this, okay, so whole time I'm dating this girl, Genevieve Jackson, right? Because I can't leave her out either, because she was pivotal back then. Okay. She's Michael Jackson's niece, right? Jermaine's daughter, Randy's kid. So like, I was also off and on living in the Jackson house.
You're hilarious.
On Havenhurst. For real. Like, I didn't have a spot to stay.
Like their actual house, or like her
on Havenhurst.
house?
The house.
Okay.
Yeah, because they grew up on Havenhurst and Encino with the giraffe and all that stuff. They grew up in that crazy mansion, and she was my girl since I was 16. Okay. So I was with her from 16 to like 20 something. So 2020, I think, or 21. I don't know. We just got like 5 years, but during this time, I was also living off and on at the Jackson house between my boy Shank's house and the Jackson house. So my best friend Shank, we all shacked up in this one bedroom over there. And then when it's getting bad over there, I'm going to my girl house. She got a mansion. I'm sleeping in the room Michael used to sleep in. No, dead ass. This is my baby. This is my girl. Like, look, Genevieve. So I'm playing Scrabble with Miss Jackson. Like, Your Majesty, Jafar, her little brother, the whole family, we there. And Janet's coming home to see her mom at random times. And this is where her grandma lived. She lived with her grandma. So that's Michael's mom, that's Janet's mom, that's everybody. So I'm there, and I was just like inside of the highest frequency, and then go to the hood and be in the hood. It's the weirdest. It was like where I was so catching frequencies from everywhere. So I can't leave her out either because she was also looking out back then in terms of like letting me stay there and whatever. Like she was solid back then. I can't just skip over her. But I also, besides Reuben Cannon, and I was everywhere. But that was one of the main places I was at, obviously because that was my girl. So it was what it was. But skip up. So I was with her and he was tripping off that like, dang, you with the Jackson? Like it was a thing.
Go back. So he asked you how much you made for a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you end up tallying it up and telling him.
Yep.
But how did he know that you were with her?
That's what I was saying because I actually took her out there.
Oh, you took her with you?
Yeah. I took her out there.
Oh my goodness.
So my boy let me stay at his house, Roger Mason, which was playing for the Knicks at the time. Roger Mason from the Knicks used to play for the, I think, Kings too. But Roger Mason was trying to get me to do his artist's project, CC Sagara. So I'm like, ooh, I could go out there, I could have these meetings, I could link with Roger, figure out if I can get a check out of him. And so I'm like, so Roger's like, yeah, you come, you and your girl come, y'all just stay. He had a penthouse over there. He's like, y'all can just stay here. I'm like, man, you know, for me, I'm like, I got to New York. I was in the penthouse. I was in there, me and her was in this thing. Like, it was up. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my best friends still, Roger Mason. It's really one of my, so, you know, so anyway, I met with him. I'm sitting there with him. I'm telling him, like, yo, he's like, dang, you a Jackson? This is crazy. Like, all this other stuff, right? So he's like, all right, cool. So how much? $5,000 a month. For me, that was a lot. For him, he didn't even remember that I even said $5,000 a month. So he's like, it's $5,000, $12, $60. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have you a check tomorrow for $70,000. After you get that check, you're gonna work that check back off. I will take it out of the money that I make you. And I'm like, hold on, bruh. So you saying if we do this management and everything right here and right now, you finna cut, I'm getting $70,000 for you to manage me and go make me some more money and some more. You believe in me that much? Where you think? Yeah. I said, bro, it's over. Signed with Chris Lighty. We locked in. And it was like, that was the first person to believe in me, Chris Lighty, for real. And he was the one that was walking around the offices like Rockstar. So, okay. All this confidence that you hear, that right there don't really work in the music business. Oh. Unless you have accolades. Okay. I didn't have them, but I knew who I was. So when you're walking around and you know who you are early, it's problems.
But there wasn't, now I heard,
because the industry's
Kanye
so
like
weak.
That though?
Kanye's like that too, but
he was like that before
wasn't
he was
even
Kanye.
me though.
But before he was Kanye, they said
he was
that he
producing
was like
for other people.
But wasn't he
He was always
like
confident.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on what I was on. Because the thing about him was, I'm just saying, Ye was that I get he is like me and him would have been best friends. But he was like, the way he was still like up under whoever. Yeah. Like he was up under The Rock or up under Dame, or can you look out? Me, I'm finna go be Dame. I'm finna go figure it out. Like, yeah, man, Lighty managed me, but he was setting me up to become me. You know what I'm saying? I was already walking in the buildings like, yeah, who's your biggest artist? All right, cool, I'll do their album, but this how we gonna do this. And they're like, who is this? And Chris like, yo, he's next. I just told you. I put all y'all on. Didn't I put you on? I just told you, he's next. And then they'd be like, oh, all right, Chris, all right. Well, let's do. So Chris was more like standing behind, bullying, like whatever. Like Chris was so solid that he was like, Rock, just talk your shit, just go off. So I was running through buildings going off like whatever. Who is it? All right, what's the artist? Okay, this is trash. Let's redo this. But I was delivering. Like when it was my time to shine, he'd come in and press play like I told y'all. Okay, so we was winning. And so I went and got an artist. Right? He's like, Rock, you got to get in your mogul mode. All this genius, put it on an artist. So I went and got this artist named Jude, Claire Demarest, right, out of Detroit. And no one knows. Chris Anacute, I actually caught her walking out of Chris Anacute's office. Chris Anacute and them was like, everybody was passing on this girl. And I looked at her and I'm like, this chick is like gorgeous. She was like, she had a thing to her. I'm like, dang, you a star, man. And she like, yeah, but these, that. And she's like from the bottom of the D. Like she's like foster home, like type. Her parents was running. So she was like from the bottom, like, so, but she a white girl. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh, she was a
so
white
she
girl.
like a Tina Marie.
Okay.
You never heard of her? Jude. No. She ever seen Star?
No.
She's on the show Star. But anyway, I knew she would start early because when I see, I'm like, yo, and her voice was real dope. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So I grabbed Jude and I'm like, yo, just roll with me. I'm gonna sign you. I'm gonna do your project. We're gonna get you popping. And she's like, all right, let's do it. So she signed to me. My lawyer, Roger Patton, was opening a lot of doors for me. My boy, Kenny Lattimore, which was singing with my sister. Again, I know a lot of people from my sister too. Kenny Lattimore introduced me to Roger Patton, my lawyer to this day.
Wow.
I never changed. I stick to the code. My lawyer to this day, I made him millions of dollars. Okay. Still the same lawyer. Roger Patton linked me with a bunch of different people, but he did all the contracts, he was doing all the deals. So I signed her, and when I signed her, I did her album, and Chris was like, yo, do her album, get it right. And I signed this other girl, Carolina Webb, which is like one of the greatest talents. She's ridiculous, like a rock chick, like something. But anyway, like a paramour. But I signed her, and when I signed her, he's like, do her album, let's go do it. So I finished her album. I was doing all kind of stuff, like me and her was locked in, finished her album. She was still on the bottom and I'm with her, like we gonna, so we walked into Jimmy Iovine's house, right? And this is the first time I ever started seeing what was going on. So besides him giving me that $70,000 check, the other biggest check I got was Roger Mason ended up giving me $220,000 to do CC Cigar's album.
Oh. So
now I'm up like 290. Man, oh my mama, me up 290? You don't want me to be up 290 at that point. But I was doing it. Hey, look, I was like 290. When I looked at it was zeros in the account and it was legal. Man, oh my mama, you don't even want to talk to me. Talking to me was wild. Because I was just saying, what do you mean I'll fly out of here? Hey, look, I thought I was next level.
Did you blow through the money or no?
I blew through the money so fast that my ankles almost twisted. That's how fast I ran through the money. My ankles almost twisted how fast I ran through the money. It was unusual, but I didn't even get there yet. Thank you for ruining that. But yeah, I absolutely ran through the money. And when I tell you I never not ran through the money, it's mandatory that you run through the money though.
Why? Is it a part?
A billionaire broke that down to me because I never understood why I kept blowing my money. That's a huge part that people have to realize. Why do you blow your money?
Why?
So a couple different moguls taught me different things, but one billionaire told me, you know the reason you blow through your money? Like you keep complaining because one time I went broke. We're skipping up. You got me skipping up. One time I went broke, right? After I got all this money. One time I went broke, and when I was broke, I was sitting there and I'm telling him like, bro, I'm fucked up right now. You ain't got no projects. Like, just give me a bridge loan and I'm gonna get back on my feet. And he like, listen, how much you? I'm like, give me like, I need like a quarter. I need like 250,000. So he like, all right, listen. You keep looking real emo, and I don't like the way you talking about yourself or the way you're fit, like the way I'm used to a different type of rock star. You got to understand how the trajectory of money goes. And I'm like, what you mean? He said, listen, when I made 500,000, I lost it. Then I made $1 million, I lost it. Then I made 2 million, I lost it. Until I got to a place where I made enough where I could fall on a cloud and I was still up there. And then I could keep going from there. He said, it's mandatory because you have to go low to go high. You got to bend your knees to jump. It's gravity. If you don't go low, you're not going to go high. So your trajectory, even on stock, obviously now me being publicly traded, a publicly traded company owner and me being me being who I am today and a mogul and a different type of thing with tech, and I understand now how graphs and charts work. Mm-hmm. Back then, I didn't even know what he was talking about. But I did say, dang, you do got to bend your knees to jump. You got to go lower to go higher. He's like, bro, don't fold because you hit the ground. You should be rejoicing. You, the type of dude you are, you think you're going to stay here? Yeah, right. I bet everything in my account, you'll be rich in a year. And I'm like, what? Damn. I'm like, okay, cool. And he didn't give me the money. He was like, I'm not gonna give you the money because you gotta go through the steps to go get the money. Go figure it out.
Shoot.
And I'm like, damn, this nigga did all that and I didn't get nothing. This sucks. This nigga sucks. But at the end of the day, it was so true. I was like, yo, and I figured out how to maneuver and everything, every detail was mandatory for my next elevation. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. But anyway, that's not where I was at. You got me over here going broke and stuff like that. Where losing my money. Where was I at though? I was somewhere else going brilliant.
All right, you got your money from Chris Lighty.
207.
Yeah.
I was up
220. You got the 220,000.
I was up
so
like 290.
And you was feeling yourself.
I was doing as much as one person could do. I'm talking about. So then I bump into Chris Brown, right? No, not yet.
Oh,
Chris Lighty. No. Let's go back to Jude. That's where I was at.
Okay.
So Claire Demarest, I'm sitting there. I did her album. We walk into Jimmy Iovine's house. Jimmy Iovine, me and Chris Lighty sit there and play the music. And I'm in Jimmy's house. I'm like, Jimmy made everybody. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there in Jimmy's house and I'm like, yo, I'm nervous, but I'm like, shit, I just made the craziest album ever. I got Tina Marie right here. Mm-hmm. Look, I press play. And he's sitting there, Jimmy, he's like, yeah, with his hat. He's like, his mansion is stupendous. I'm sitting here like, this is cantankerous. I'm in this joint like, need me one of these. You know what I'm saying? So
you
anyway,
cantankerous?
Yeah, it's unusual activity. So I'm in Jimmy Iovine's house and I'm sitting here and I'm like, dang, this is crazy. So we press and play. And so he's sitting there and she's nervous, so she ain't selling the records. Mm-hmm. So I get to selling the records for her damn near. I'm in that motherfucker like, boom, I'm sitting, so he's now paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm lipping the words and this, and then I'm here. So I just take, cause she ain't able to, right now, for some reason, she not being her. She's a star 24/7, but something made her not deliver. Mm-hmm. And I said, damn. So I had to take the floor and I'm, as a producer, we made it. So we sitting there and we know how to still deliver whatever's happening. And so he's sitting there. So he tells Chris, he goes, okay, I like her, but he's the star. So what do you want to do with him? And so Chris Lighty like, oh, okay, well, we'll figure it out. Let's talk. So we get in the car and she starts crying, breaking it down. And she acting like I did it something. So I'm like, damn, like, so that's another thing, managing artists and them. So I'm like, damn, like, so I'm sitting here with her and I'm like, listen, you didn't sell it, period.
You said that to her?
What, me? I'm saying everything. I'm telling her you didn't sell it. We did all this and you didn't sell it. Mm-hmm. So that's not my fault. Mm-hmm. You supposed to sell it. So me and her do all that. And then she like, then it's a whole thing. So I tell Chris, I say, Chris, I need you to set something up. She don't feel good about herself right now. It feel like this is this. We gotta deliver. And Chris like, I'm gonna call L.A. Reid. I'm like, all right, call somebody.
You leave Jimmy with the whole, I want him?
No, so Chris started kind of like, all right, we'll circle back to Jimmy because he want to work with you because Jimmy signs Timberlands and producers and Dr. Dre's and Pharrell's and that's what Jimmy Iovine do.
Yeah.
So people like me show up, he like, oh, it's another Dr. Dre. That's what, come over. So he's on that type of vibe, but that's where he's thinking, but she's like, I'm still in the middle of, I just completed this project and gave her all these promises. Claire, I got you out the hood. I got you, you good. We from Detroit. It's over. It's us. It's just me and you against the world. And Chris, let's get it done. I promised you was gonna get signed. I know nobody ever did it. I'm gonna do it for you. And I was stuck on it. So I told Chris, right now, forget me. Let's go to somebody. So he hit
L.A. Reid.
L.A. Reid. So we missed the flight to go meet L.A. Reid. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm just in the airport with Claire and I'm losing it. And Claire's like, yo, this is crazy. Because I always miss every flight. Because my scheduling is trash. So I missed the flight. She's looking at me like, I done signed to the most incompetent. He's a genius, but what is he doing? So she's sitting here and she's like, she's a white girl, but she's a black woman. It's not a normal. Detroit, it's not. She's not a normal. So she's sitting there like, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, I just missed a flight. So Chris, like, you missed the flight. So he cussing me out. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, so he like, listen, I set it up for a week later. Get here in a week, bro. If you miss this flight, don't talk to me I'm not even talking to you no more. I'm like, damn. So I get on the flight. I damn near sleep in the airport. I'm in the flight. I'm like, the flight on Wednesday, I'm in there Tuesday, like. I'm in that joint, right? I don't even care. So we get on that flight.
You made it.
We go to L.A. Reid's.
Thank God.
We go to L.A. Reid's office. When we go to L.A. Reid's office, I'm in there with this A&R that was kind of like feeling Claire a little bit off what was going on, named Randy Rosano. And so she was like kind of championing like whatever you wanted. Like she was like, yo, when you go to L.A. Reid, I'm going to be in there. Like that was one of his main A&Rs. Yeah. She like, yo, I'm going to be with y'all. Like, this is crazy. Like, I love it. And everybody respected Chris. So everybody was kind of like, yo, let's do it. Like, this is a thing. And so I took Claire. I'm like, listen, before we go in here, this is where Rihanna came from. You're Rihanna. This has to happen. Let's go. Like, this is not a game. I'm not going to be sell yourself, please. This is crazy. And she like, I got this. Don't worry about it. I got it. Woo, woo. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go up at L.A. Reid's office, and L.A. Reid sitting there, and he's like, da-da-da. But see, Claire's bad. So L.A. Reid, like, he got the Rihannas and the Pinks. So when he sees something, he like, what's going on? So she walk in, and she come in, and da-da-da. And he like, okay, go ahead, play it. But when you playing the song, perform it. I'm like, oh, my God. So I'm like, this is finna get crazy. I'm like, don't even know, but I'm like, ooh. So Claire get up and she kill it. She get to doing whatever they be doing when you do stuff. So she was cooking, the record's crazy, and she in it and she telling him, she's singing the record and the record crazy, it sound like a new reality. And he like, all right, go ahead and go. I get it. So he tells us, I get it in the middle of us doing this. He's like, I get it. Okay, y'all go ahead and go outside. I'm gonna talk to Chris. I get it. Like, I've seen enough. And I'm like, damn.
What the fuck?
So we go outside and I'm sitting there. I'm like, damn, you done blew it. I told you about this stupid ass dress you done wore, and this probably what messed up. And she like, man, I did it. So we in the lobby arguing about whatever the fuck. Cause I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't even know. So then Chris Lighty and L.A. Reid come out with the other A&Rs and they're like, all right, do you want the deal? I'm like, what deal? They like, listen, we're going to go across the street to Lavo. We're going to let the lawyers do the deal. We giving her record deal right now. Y'all not leaving until we signing it. And I'm like, huh? So me and her, it's up. So she started crying. We running around. It's that. I'm like, oh, it's up. So I'm like, damn. So I'm sitting there with her like, yo, I can't believe I just did this. Because I really manifested and created, and it worked, and we're here. And so they like, no. So I go, and that was my first $750,000.
And how old are you?
I was 21, I think.
Woo!
So I sold her for $700. I didn't sell her, that's a bad. She signed to me. It's called FSO, for the services of. Okay. So she signed to my production company, and she signed to Epic Records through me. So I basically, you lease the artist, pretty much.
I get what you're saying.
Anyway,
we celebrate.
I got the check.
Okay.
Bought her a brand new Range Rover, gave her a check, got her out her apartment. She was living with her sister and her mom, and it's like over there in the middle of Koreatown or something crazy. It was crazy. But got them their own spot. They moved into this house. And that was the first time I ever flipped. That was like my first legal brick. Like I like load. Yeah. Like I found that was pretty much a Colombian Connect, and I just flipped the whole. All that's gone. One load. I showed up and we got out of there safe, and the gorillas didn't get us or nothing. That was the most money I had ever seen at the time. So I'm like, oh my God, and I just went broke. That was the thing. I had lost all the money doing too much because I had just got all that.
So the second time around, did you lose it again?
Yeah, definitely lost it again. But that I was down to like $290. I was down to like $209. I was down. I'll tell you, I don't even know where I was at. It was bad. But anyway, so I'm sitting there broke, busted, and disgusted in the office. Boom, that check come through. It's another $750. I'm like, ooh, I'm up. Now I'm up. So now I'm like, ooh. So signed her there. That was the first time I ever went through having an artist in a major. Mm-hmm. That whole situation went far left, but we're not going to go into what that was because that was crazy. But, you know, that taught me a whole bunch of stuff there in terms of signing artists to majors. And then let's keep skipping. The next big check was when I signed a label deal myself to Craig Kelman. That was my first million something.
I thought we were getting closer to Chris.
Oh, Chris Lighty?
Chris Brown.
That's where we're going.
Oh, okay, good.
So
You're like watching a movie.
Yeah.
I'm like literally, I could have popcorn right now.
No.
We're over time, by the way.
So Chris Lighty, okay, we got to wrap this up. So Chris Lighty, this is the sick part about this. Chris Lighty dies out the blue, right? Out the blue. So I'm like, what the So they call me like, Chris dead. I'm like, huh? Chris who? Chris Lighty dead. I'm like, hold on, bro. What? So I'm like, what? So I'm fucked off. My head is fucked. I'm like, bro. So I'm calling Dave. I'm crying. I'm fucked up. I'm like, bro, what is going on? So it's this whole conspiracy. It's crazy shit. I'm like, dude, what is going? So once he died, all the vultures just, it got bad, right? It got bad right away. Because they already didn't like me. Mm-hmm. You understand? They didn't like me. They had to like me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They had to like me because I pressed play and my speakers was smacking their stupid asses. And they had to like me because of who I was with. And it was hierarchy. So they couldn't do nothing about, but like, all right, he's next. He's the next Kanye. Like they had to. But they didn't want to, and they didn't. So when he died, man, oh my mama, one thing I remember, I never forget. I snuck into the BMI Awards, and I walked into the BMI Awards, and I'm gonna leave the exec name out of it because I like the exec now. Mm-hmm. But back then it was the coldest shit I ever heard a nigga tell me. So I had already been trying to reach out to people afterwards to do certain things, even trying to reach out to the label.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to respond. And now they direct with my artists, and I can't even get in. Jesus. So now the artists and all them is all best friends, and I can't even, nobody want to answer my calls. Now it's, Rock, who is, ain't no Chris, it's just Rock. So now I'm the little nigga again. Yeah, I'm nobody again. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, so I can't even get to the label. They taking my artist, she running around sessions and we about to drop, I don't know nothing about it. They doing whatever they want to do. And I'm trying to reach out to L.A. Reid and I can't get to them. None of them want to answer my call. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. So everybody kind of just blackballed. It was like it was like soon as Chris, they was like, why would we answer the phone without Chris? This doesn't make any sense, right? So what happens is, I'm like, most people would have been like, damn, man, they ain't fucking with me, I'm done. But obviously, that's when that confidence, like whatever God has for me, no man can stop. So I already knew like, y'all are trying to play me, it just fueled me. Most people fold when they give that type of energy. They fold up. I get amped from it. That comes from me being in the streets. The biggest dude hop out and, oh, what's up? And everybody like, hey, backing up and man, I don't want to. I'm like, huh? I feel like now you think you want to show me. I'm finna try and do some amazing shit. So I want to show out. So I'm trying to do. I always was that guy. I want to fight the biggest dude. I want to whatever. So I went after everybody, pretty much in a nutshell, in a different type of way. I'm like, I gotta play chess. They don't want to let me in the door. I'm gonna figure this out. So I went to the BMI Awards and wasn't nobody fucking with me. It was all what it was. And when I went to the BMI Awards, the dude, the executive, powerful executive, he sees me. He goes, yo, so how you been? I'm like, man, ever since Chris Lighty died, man, this industry I'm seeing how fake it is. He's like, yeah, man, like Chris Lighty died. We didn't really want you in the building in the first place. Like, we talked you. He tells me, we didn't want you in the building in the first place. you pretty much, Chris barged his way in there with you, and we couldn't do nothing about it. But at the end of the day, he's gone, so I don't know what the hell you're gonna do now, because I don't see it happening. But he's been waiting to say this. This is how wicked he be on the low. I don't see it happening. But good luck, bro. And yeah, man, it's all good. This is a Jew, too. It's all good. I'll holler at you. I'm like, damn. I'm like, I said, listen. I said, Chris Lighty is gone, and you think my career over? He's like, I don't think your career's over, but I just don't see what you're going to do next. I said, well, first of all, what you got to understand is this shit is in me on a scale you haven't even, the fact that you just said that, I said, I guarantee you'll be cutting me a check soon, but I'm going to holler at you. So boom, I shake his hand, boom, boom. So he like, so boom. So I go back.
I love your confidence. I love it.
I tell the
It's
nigga,
infectious.
I guarantee you going to cut me a check soon. And that same nigga ended up cutting me multiple checks. But the crazy thing is they will try and blacklist you to the maximum capacity if they feel like they can. The industry is so scandalous. If they can get you out the way, they will. They're all scary ass executives. None of them want to be taking risk and putting their job on the line for you. And so I ended up, kind of like having to navigate my artist being took, me kind of running through my bread, not having nothing going on, into who brought me back to life? Mark Pitts with Chris Brown. So after all of that, right? You understand? After all of that, I'm sitting there and I'm just like doing independent projects, really. Like I'm hustling. And so I'm just doing independent projects. And so like I got a new girlfriend, and she was signed to T.I. and I took her, and now they feel some type. It's crazy. So I'm already politicking all kind of stuff, right? It's crazy. I'm already in the mix. So I'm like, damn, like I just keep running into roadblocks. So I'm sitting there, and one day, Mark Pitts calls me, and he goes, hey, you still make music? I'm like, nigga, what do I make? I said, now, Mark, you know I'm the greatest that ever lived. Why would you call me and ask me, am I still the greatest that ever lived? And he goes, you are nuts. He said, yo, pull up on me, man. We're doing this Chris Brown camp. Pull up on me. Let's see what we can get accomplished. Like, I'm going to just see. So check this out. I had just gotten to a whole pretty much scuffle with Chris Brown's whole team in the club, supper club, the night before.
Oh my God.
So I'm in, this is how crazy it is, because I'm in the club. So like, this is how I'm doing stuff. So I'm in the club, supper club and all this stuff, because this is where all the stars is coming. Like everybody's there, all the big stars at the time kept coming to supper club. Rihanna be there, this person be there. And my boy Johnny Cruz, who I grew up with, was running the club. It's the biggest club in Hollywood. So I'm in there and I'm at the main table. And he just be like, just give me 1,000 or give me. So I'm buying bottles and I got bad bitches. It's ridiculous. I got 5, 6, 7 bad bitches. So I'm walking in with 7, 8 bad bitches. And then they like, damn, this nigga, who is this, Hugh Hefner? I'm walking in. So Chris Brown, this is the first time I ever interacted with him besides dance. Because I met Chris Brown 2 times before, but it wasn't that type of experience. He came to the Jackson House. You can actually look up Chris Brown going to Jackson House. I was there. He came to the Jackson House to meet the Jackson kids because he's always idolized Michael. First time I ever met Chris, but it was quick and it was some Jackson. He probably thought I was a Jackson kid, right? So I was in there doing whatever they was doing. Hey, how are you? I think I was switching it all up. I don't even know. Whatever they was on, I was on, yes. But hey, Mr. Brown, are you? Because they talk real polite about everything. They could be cussing you out politely. So I'm sitting there with them on some like whole other, we all in there, he's taking a picture with us, and he's like in awe and he's starstruck, and I'm in there and I'm like, yeah, I'm just blending in. I'm definitely the darkest one. And so anyway, so that happened, right? That was the first time I met him. Then I met him through Crump, obviously, because he started to use Crump in everything.
Yep, I remember.
And so he would come to our Crump arenas, Dunamis's. obviously Chris Brown's one of my best friends now, right? All these years later. Wow. But back then we didn't know each other. So he was sitting there and he was going through the Crump arenas, and he was like one of the only stars that would actually show up to the Crump sessions. So it'd be big Crump sessions with all these people doing it in this Crump arenas, and he would show up and battle on stage, like, all right, cool, call out. So he would come with Britty, with Miho, and them was like ops. So for me, I'm like, ooh, like he come with the ops. So I'm bumping into him on a dance tip. It's still that, you know what I'm saying? It ain't. So anyway, back to the club. So we in the club, I got all these bitches, we doing all this. So one day, he like, damn, his table over there was kind of dry. He like, yo, so I had a chick that looked like a bag of now and laters. Unbelievable. I'm talking about next level, just a all pink starburst. And so he was sitting there, he was looking, because Chris, you know, if it's a bad bitch around, he like, what's going on? So I'm like, yo, see me? He look over and I didn't even know him like that. I'm like, so I sent him, go to his table. I don't even want you here. So I'm trying to like
You're
send.
Hilarious. You didn't want the bag of.
No, it wasn't. I did. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm politicking. Okay. Right now, these niggas ain't messing. I was just like, yo, I'm trying to. We the same age.
Okay.
So he looking at me like, who is this nigga with all this motion?
Okay.
Cause who am I?
So you send over the appetizer.
I'll send over the frequency.
Entree. Okay.
So he like, damn, he sent this type of frequency. So he over there, he like, okay, you kind of respect like a little bit, like, oh, a nigga send you a couple bad, but you like, okay, who? Well, we ain't gonna be best friends, but it's like, so the next week, he don't come to the table, don't come to the club, but I come back the same, I'm back, 6 chains. Hey, look, and then his crew come, which are all my niggas now, but back then it wasn't. So then I bought his table, because they said he wasn't coming. So I bought his table, so they come to his table, and they telling me like, yo, this our table. Really, the homie chick was the one pressing the line, like, this is my table. I'm like, this ain't your fucking table. Fuck you talking about. I just cut to the, so I don't even know really that's his niggas, his cousin, his Keith and all them, but we in it and we back and forth. So she like, so he's stepping up for his girl. I'm like, nigga, woo. So we now it's a whole fucking thing between me, my niggas, him, Keith, all these other niggas. They like, woo. So we get into it. I'm like, what? They don't say, I'm gangbanging. So I'm doing, I go right back to South Central. I get right back to that. What, nigga? Whoa. So I'm tripping. And they like, what? Nigga, whoa. So it's back and forth and it's up. Because these niggas is Virginia rowdy, burnt out niggas. And plus a couple other niggas like Red. He had a couple other, the homie Red and a couple other niggas, a couple bloods out here, different niggas that he was sliding with, and they was there, and I'm paid. We on some show, it's up, so it's all kind of LA shit going on. So after that, I'm like, woo, all right, bet, woo, we gonna bump into each other, nigga, because they came and broke it off. I'm, woo, nigga, we gonna woo. So we leave the club, whatever. The next day, Mark Pitts calls me. The next day, right? So not even thinking about nothing. So I go into the studio, Glenwood, and I walk in. When I walk in, I walk by, and all 7 of them niggas is sitting there in the lobby.
No.
Looking at me like, what the fuck? So when I walk up, they hop up, they like, what's up with this nigga? And I'm like, so I'm walking by this nigga, and Mark like, he come meet me in the lobby like, Rock, what up? So then they see Mark see me, and they know he the executive. So they kind of stop like, hold on, bro, like, what the fuck? So they on some shit, I'm on some shit, I'm like, yeah. So I tell Mark, I go in the back. I ain't say nothing to Mark. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even tell him nothing. And he still to this day, you talk to Mark Pitts, he always be like, yo, this nigga. I didn't even tell him nothing. He takes me back to room C in Glenwood. And he tells me, all right, Rock, just try and create something. You know what I'm saying? We working on Chris and just try and create something. And I'm like, all right, shit, whatever. So I go in there and I start creating crazy shit, right? So the nigga come back in like 12 minutes later, and he like, why the fuck you didn't tell me you be beefing with these niggas? You got in a fight with these niggas?
Mark said this?
Yes. So Mark like, Rock, why you didn't tell me you got in a fight with these niggas? And I'm like, but I get to play psychology. I'm like, so because I got something going on with somebody's friends or posse or homies that has something to do with an executive conversation, I just told you, Chris, then I start bringing up shit. Chris like, and did that, and then he like, listen, Rock, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna shut it down, don't come out this room and you just work, okay? And I don't got time. So I'm like, all right. So I'm in the room, right? And he don't come back for like 6 hours. So I do 5 records. Like niggas do not even a song in a day. I did 5 of them bitches. So he come back in the room and he's like, yo, did you do anything? I'm like, anything. So the group, so my man's, who was the engineer at the time, who ended up being my engineer for the whole album after that, he was in there, he was like, yo, this nigga just did 5 songs. He was like, 5 songs? Hell no. I'm like, bro, I just did 5 songs. He like, press play. So I pressed play on this record called Up Down that you can Google and actually see CB, the first record he actually cut of mine. It's called Up Down. I did this record and he like, this is crazy. He like, hold on, man, hold on. This is what I was trying to tell niggas. So he walk out the room and I'm like, damn. So he go get Chris in room A. And Chris come walking in with 50 niggas, homie. I'm talking about like 50 niggas. All the niggas I got problems with. The other niggas, the niggas that they was in there talking shit with. Tina Davis, 7th Streeter, all these niggas, right? So I'm like, damn. So they come walking, they're so thick that they can't even fit through the studio door. That's how many of them niggas it was. And bitches, everything. Bitches came, everybody came. Cause they like, let's see what this nigga on.
Okay.
So I press play. Mark like, hey, play that last song. So I don't even look at them niggas. I just turn around to the board and press play. And I'm like, you know that. And the way I'm getting off, like as a dancer, like the way I bob and the way I move the shit, he was like, oh, like it immediately, but the shit was banging. So he like, damn. So I turned like out the blue, like, you know, at like 30 seconds later when I'm playing. And that nigga back there like, oh, right? But the niggas behind him is like, hey, look, Dave was not with nothing I would talk about. So I'm like, damn. So he, like, I see him, he like, hey, bro. When he come out, he like, that's fine. Hey, load it up in the room. I'm like, oh, okay. Shit. So he take the record, go load it up. And then when he loaded it up, he like, whoa, he come back. So I'm in there and Mark like, just keep working. So it's like 12 o'clock and I'm still in there working. I did another like 4 records. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm out working everybody. Nigga, I'm making hits. Fuck everybody. Let's go. I'm cooking shit, loaded up, knocking out. I'm freestyling records. That's how crazy I was going on these records. And then so he come back in, Chris, like by himself. He like, hey, come listen to this. So I'm like, all right. So I go in the room. I go listen to the record. And when I'm listening to the record, I'm like, damn. And so he played it. He like, woo, woo. And now these niggas in there bobbing because they was in there with him and they feel like they're a part of it now. So now everybody fucking with it. And then so I'm in there, I come in, they still got a stank attitude, whatever, right? So basically he was like, yo, I love this record, da da da. So he told Mark, and Mark was like, I told you this nigga hot. And so he left, when we was leaving, he like, I'm about to go home, but listen, bro, after I get off community service, like meet me here, like come tomorrow, bro. I'm like, oh, all right, for
Chris
sure.
Chris said that?
Yeah, Chris told me like, come tomorrow.
Community service, oh, okay.
Yeah. He's like, after community service, like come tomorrow. I'm like, all right, for sure. So I tell Mark like, hey, Chris told me to come tomorrow, should I come? He like, yeah, nigga, come. What the hell is you talking about, come? And stop blindsiding me. I sat there and had to put my neck, and then Tina came over here, she done cussed me out about you, da-da-da. I'm like, damn. So from there, I came every day. Okay. And every day I made hit records until I made Fine China. And then it was bad. Then it was over. It was over. It was done.
And you've been...
I mean,
crazy.
Honestly, I executive produced from then it was where
the snowball.
No, but I went from I went from that album. So after Fine China, Chris was at a very different place. And this is why me being in that Jackson house changed my life. Because Fine China changed my life. You understand what I'm saying? That was the biggest record and it changed the radio. And it made everybody think, Michael Jackson had just died. It made everybody think, even Janet Jackson called and said, this is the closest thing I ever heard to my brother. I need whoever produced this album to come do my album. Which is crazy because she didn't even know I was dating her niece. She didn't even know it was me. So, but that's a different story. But what I'm saying is Fine China was so massive and it hit so hard that everybody, Bruno Mars changed his sound. Everybody changed their sound and went to that. Bruno Mars went from beautiful girls to now everybody's in the 80s. I don't want no 50%. I'm like, oh, so all y'all want to bring bass lines to the radio. I changed music. Guaranteed. So once Chris did Fine China, as a matter of fact, Timberland walked in the room and then me and Timberland was locked in for about 4 months straight. Timberland is the reason I did the stuff with Beyonce. Beyonce flew me out to Jungle City and he brought me to Alicia Keys. Timberland brought me to some different people because me and him was super locked in. So, but he came to the camp late after the album was damn near done. And he was like, he heard Fine China, stopped the music and said, listen, this is the craziest shit. What the fuck is happening? Who did this? And they was like, oh, Chris and all was like, that nigga, he was like, nigga, you are not normal. Oh, for sure. They're like, you? But at that time, I was in the camp. His friends that became my best friends, his cousins, my cousins, we all together. We at the clubs together. We moving around. I played Autumn Leaves for Rihanna. She cried. Oh, he played Autumn Leaves for Rihanna. She cried. Niggas like, I can't. Like, the records were so vicious that it was like people couldn't believe that niggas was creating this level of music. And that was my time to shine. That was my time to show the industry through the biggest artists in the world that I was me. And so that record, Fine China, changed everything. Because I went from that to executive producing this album. I did 10 records on X on that album. And I named the album X with Diplo, me, Diplo, Chris. We did the X. But we actually named the album X off this record that we did called X. And it was that was life-changing for me. That record changed my life. And then I went from that to doing J-Lo's album, Fergie album, Usher, Rihanna, everybody you could think of. It just domino effect. Once they knew, oh, he's him, and the executives couldn't get around it no more. Once your artists are requesting me, who did that? Well, who's the nigga that's always with Chris Brown? Who's the nigga that just did, that brought him? Because Chris Brown was in a place where nobody was trying to hear his shit no more.
Yeah.
They wasn't fucking with him. And then I said, well, why don't we do a Jackson record that is gonna remind the world, like Michael Jackson was getting in bullshit every day.
Yeah.
And, wacko jacko, this and this. But when he pressed play, oh, that shit went out the window. Why don't we do a Michael record? And so when he did that, see, he took a risk. And he did the Michael record, they was right back on his dick.
So now that we've gotten your full scope and your tipping point.
Yeah.
And I like that you got a little blacklisted in between.
Oh,
that's crazy.
They tried. After that, it became bad. They couldn't do it no more.
Now you've been a successful.
No, now the executives became my best friends.
Yeah, now they're all your best friends. I know.
Yeah, no, all of them.
You didn't even name drop.
Yeah, no, all of those ones that was, they was doing this. Who's on the phone? Oh yeah, tell them, email me. They was doing that. Them same niggas is hitting my line 60 times. My artist said, can I get, is this the same nigga that didn't believe in me? Oh yeah, I'm a link, send them through. I'm talking to niggas crazy too. Don't get it twisted. I'm reminding them that they didn't believe back then. But because I'm a Scorpio, so you can't forget. Yeah, you can't forget. I'm not gonna let you forget.
But now
I'll get over it, but you won't forget.
I believe it. I fear Scorpios.
Yeah, it's
bad. But now that you're killing it in the music game, you're also tapping into the entrepreneur game. You're doing that. I guess we're not going to talk about your AR.
Oh, you talking about skipping up till now?
Yeah.
Now we 13 Grammys later and. And we just want to build. No, 13.
I thought it was 15.
No, I was at 11, and then we're up for 3 right now.
Okay.
14. Yeah, that's 14.
Okay.
Who's
counting at this point?
No, but I'm saying, that's 100 million records sold
now
later.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're way over time.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure that I cover just kind of the today's standpoint, like what's going on with you now. We got Rock Wireless.
Yeah, Rockstar Wireless.
Rockstar Wireless.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you got to transition. So making millions of dollars and becoming a mogul in music gets you to a place, right? And that made some of my best friends like Flo Rida and different people that support me. Me and Flo Rida used to sleep on the floor at Devontae's swing studio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you talk to Flo Rida and be like, you used to sleep on the floor at me and Flo Rida used to sleep on the floor at Devontae's swing studio, and we were sharing burgers and sharing fries and shit like that. He got discovered, went to Miami and I think signed to Trick Daddy or one of them out the blue. But we was all there broke, busted, and discussed. This is why Flo Rida is one of my best friends in the world, and he just killed that $90 million deal with Celsius and all that type. That's one of my best friends. I love Flo Rida to death, but we came from the bottom together. But a lot of the people that I came up with, and when I became a Mogan, whatever the situation, they support me on a different scale because they've really seen what I went through to become something bigger. And so tech, I've always been into tech. It was my passion forever. Like, we won the CES award for most innovative technology in 2013 for the dual screen cell phone. Me and my partner Darius Allen, which I partnered in Rockstar Wireless with, was creating cell phones, selling cell phones, tablets with the projectors, doing stuff that people couldn't do early. And so I stick to the same code. I start with you, I'm finished, but he's still my partner in things that we do all day. I was doing tech since I figured that tech was what's next. Crypto was what's next. I had $1 million in crypto. I had $1 million in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was $2,000. Damn. My boy Da put me up on a play. I made $1 million in Bitcoin early. So I was on plays, everything tech early. And I was always in it, and I was just honing, creating. And so that's how I kind of got into tech, because music will make you a certain amount of money, but it's a gateway drug. And the problem is people stay in music forever. Catalog publishing, all that, that's cool, but it's limited. I'd use that gateway drug to get into a much bigger atmosphere, and I use the connections and the people I built this world with to this is how Beats by Dre becomes a $4 billion company. You take Jimmy Iovine, starts dabbling in tech. He takes the Dr. Dre's, and now here, it's the influence of this. So Chris Brown, 156 million followers on just one platform. If that's your people and he pushes a button, you now, even if it's just 10%, you got 15 million users on a platform. You could already sell the platform just off them users. At 1%, 1.5 million users on the platform. So once I started understanding exit strategies, how to do reverse mergers in the shell companies, how to do pink sheets, how to sit there and run stocks from the top to the bottom, how to really understand the crypto markets, the NFT markets, how to mint, how to understand floors, where Ethereum went, where this is, Solana, all the coins, how to go through different situations. I studied things. And once I started understanding where the money was, I started to create tech companies on a scale that's like, okay, music, tech, influence, all in one situation. Then that's how I got Rockstar Wireless. Did it with the head of T-Mobile, Dan Thigerson, Mike Seifert, and all of them. And they came and they're like, yo, we don't have any minority MVNOs. Let's tag team. So we locked in with them, did that, did the biggest deal. We're the only black-owned cell phone company. And that's worldwide. And we have better rates than everybody else. Yeah, better rates than everybody else.
And now we know that I'm going to get a second line.
Oh, yeah, get you a second line.
I'm going on my first day with Rockstar Wireless.
As you know, Mint Mobile just sold for $1.4 billion. That's how Ryan Reynolds got his $1.4 billion. He would have had to do a lot of movies to get that. But, that tech takes you somewhere else. I also have Trinity Social, which TikTok is going out of style, and they're about to get banned. So we created a social media platform that encompasses all of the platforms into one platform. That's why it's called Trinity. It's like the Father, the Son, the Holy. It's like all of the things in one is the Trinity. And so it's called Trinity Social. And we have a version of Clubhouse in there, a version of OnlyFans in there. We have everything that Instagram gives you, from feeds you can monetize, go live, everything all inside one social media app. And so that's next up as well.
Is it launched? It's launched right now?
Yeah, it's out. You can download it right now in your app store. Download Trinity Social. You'll love it. If you're tired of paying however much you're paying, if people paying $300, $400, $500 on cell phone bills, you can come to Rockstar Wireless. We give it $19.99. Like, I don't know what you want to do. I don't know if you beat that, I'll pay for it. We ain't coming to play no
All
games.
I know is my phone bill's way too high, so
Way
we gotta
too
go.
high.
We gotta go over there.
And so I've been building heavy tech companies and running plays, and now I'm kind of the bridge between tech companies and the music business. It's impossible to get to a Chris Brown. It's impossible to get to a Jennifer Lopez. It's impossible to get to a Fergie or a Prince Royce or even like certain basketball players. And they're all my best friends. Like, there's people that I'm day to day with. So I bridge gaps between even other companies that I rock with, and we bridge gaps so that their companies can scale a lot faster than the traditional marketing strategies, because that's really the new marketing strategy, like influencers. And so I have, kind of ignorant amount of them. And so we go crazy and we're all friends. Like, I only mess with people that I like. And so that's the whole situation. And I just been scaling and just building from there. And that's how I, coming from nothing to something, that's how that really happened. And when I tell somebody I really was coming from nothing to something, I really built it brick by brick by brick by step.
I think we just learned that just now.
Yeah,
that you went from broke as hell.
Broke as hell. To lit.
To really lit. To wealthy. Yeah. I would say more, you're wealthy.
I'm wealthy.
Getting
I'm
to
still
wealthy.
rich. I feel like I need to I'm getting to wealthy. Once I exit, 2 or 3 of these companies, or even one of them, it's going to be a wealthy situation. Mm-hmm. But until then, I would say rich, because, for me, until you're 9, 10 figures, until you're in the 100 million range, like 10 figures, I touched 10 figures in terms of deals, but that's 10 million, 9 million. No, that's 10 million, 11 million. But you're talking about people are out here running around with billions and billions and hundreds of billions. So it's like, for me, I'm going to get to where I need to get. I'm pushing buttons, you know what I'm saying, on a different scale. And that's why I've set things up to make sure that the exit strategies are built. Do not build anything in your life without an exit strategy. And that's how you set yourself up for failure. And when you learn how to build an exit strategy into anything it is, you don't want to be tied to something forever like that. Unless it's, now I'm not talking about people. Okay. The girl, whatever, family, love, and friends, and that's different. But I'm talking about companies. Okay. Because they're stressful. You build them, you do it, and then you let somebody become the machine and move, and you either sit back and just get residuals forever, or you put it in a place where it's gone and you win and you can relax. It's about buying an island and growing your own fruit, stuff like that. Exactly. But nothing to something is a real thing for me.
It is. And I just want to thank you so much for cooking for me.
Oh yeah.
And probably hands down one of the best storytellers, most animated.
Yeah, welcome to the jungle.
I loved hearing your story.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
Of course.
To come down here.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me.
And then I'm gonna get the goggles off you too.
Oh yeah. Rock guy.
I'm a comforter.
We got the AI goggles too.
He got the AI goggles, and I'm obsessed with AI. So I'm gonna be.
We got a bunch of different stuff.
I'm gonna be calling. I could be your test, the person that tests it.
Oh, test it. Okay.
Because I'll keep it real.
All right, but if you pass out, I don't know what to. No. I'm just playing. You're gonna pass out from no goggles. But
no, but I'm saying, like, I could be like the critical reviewer. I'll keep it all the way real.
Okay.
No filter.
I just created a PTSD program through sound therapy, through ancient frequencies like war drums and waterfalls and stuff. And I'll give you that and see how you feel after going through like the PTSD sound frequency. It's to calm. Like, for the military, for people that are overseas, to calm their nerves when they're in the middle of Iraq. You can zone out and jump into, or wherever you're at, jump into a frequency therapy program that actually is a real therapeutic situation that's happening. And you can, select being wherever you want to be, on the beach or, wherever. And it's real time. It's real. It's heavy. It's crazy.
I'm going to try it. And I'm going to be your reviewer.
Yeah, please do.
I'm going to be a hard reviewer.
I love it.
But I'm going to be excited about it too, though.
Yeah, and the tech ain't going to stop. So you just stay tuned. I'm coming up with a lot of stuff. We're creating.
Keep up with Rockstar, man.
Please do, yeah. Rockstar. Follow me, of course, Rockstar Music, ROCCSTAR Music on everything.
And you heard it here first at Eating While Broke. Peace out, guys.
Yes, sir. Peace.